Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Monica, and today I want to talk with you about why I plan to take Social Security at 62. In short, the answer is freedom. And let me talk with you a little bit more about that. Obviously, what I'm getting ready to share is my story. This is not going to work for everyone. You'll have to make the decision on what's right for you. The situation will be different for everyone. But I really just wanted to share why I came to the decision I did and kind of what my plan is so that, hopefully this will help you in making a decision and some things to think about perhaps as you start planning for retirement and planning, when to start drawing Social Security. Okay, so as I mentioned, freedom was the big thing on my list. I retired this past August, and I'm currently 60 years old, so it'll be about another year or so before I'm getting ready to turn 61, so it'll be another year or so before I can draw Social Security. But prior to retiring, I was working for a good company. In doing work that in general I enjoyed, but the part I didn't enjoy is things had gotten like very, very hectic. I mean, long hours, increasing demands, all of those kinds of things, that, make it not quite so desirable anymore. And I really got to thinking about how much I was just longing for my time to be my own, to be able to pursue things that I was dreaming of for my life, and to just have the flexibility and freedom of time. Everything. So, the other thing that I took into consideration was my family history. Now, although, I do have some family members that have lived longer, in general, my most immediate family, my parents and so forth, most of those have, passed like in their 70s. And like I said, I'm already 60, getting ready to turn 61. And, if I were to follow suit with that, then that means I would have less than 20 years left. Now, who knows? I could live to be 100 or more. Who knows? But, life is short in general. It goes by so fast. And, I've known so many people that did postpone their retirement and, shortly thereafter passed away, or, maybe kept working and, their health went south or whatever the case may be. And, they were not able to enjoy their retirement. And so, I was really that came into account as I was making my determination. And so, how I kind of approached it is, can I really do this? Am I going to be happy if I go ahead and retire at 60? And then, in order to make the finances work, if I retired at 60, then I would need to start drawing my Social Security at 62. Okay. And so to kind of prepare for that, basically what I did was I came up with, based on, what I would be drawing from Social Security, the retirement savings and investments that I currently have, I came up with what my monthly budget would be, in order to make my money last, not just until my 70s, but right now, if all goes well and everything, my retirement income and everything should last into my 90s, maybe even to 100, barring any catastrophic event or anything. But, based in general, if I stay on track with my budget and everything, I should be fine, like as far as into my 90s and everything. But again, like I said, I wanted peace of mind. Is this really going to work? So 5 months prior to my retirement, I started tracking my spending based on the budget that I would have for retirement. Okay, and when I say tracking my spending, I wrote down literally every penny I spent for 5 months prior to pulling the trigger on my retirement. And I just set up a spreadsheet in Excel, on nothing fancy, but just that's how I tracked my spending. Got a receipt every time I was out and spent any money, brought it home and immediately put it into the tracker. If I spent anything on Amazon, it went in the tracker. I mean, literally everything went into the tracker to make sure that I felt confident and that I was going to have peace of mind going into retirement. Okay. And the other thing is, I'm not going to have some elaborate retirement. I'm describing my retirement as comfortable but modest. I will continue to track my spending every month because, again, I know how easily spending can get away from you. And, it's so easy to just, go out and spend an extra $100, $200, $300 before you even realize it. It adds up so quickly. Everything. So again, I'm continuing to track my spending every month. As of the filming of this video, I plan for that to continue indefinitely. Everything, because again, it helps me sleep at night to know that I am staying on track with my plan. Okay, so like I said, I, tracked my spending, everything to make sure I could make this work. And then kind of what my plan is long term. Like I said, until I apply for Social Security at 62, I will be living on my retirement savings and investments. Then when I apply for Social Security, I will reduce the amount that I'm pulling out from my savings and investments by an equal amount that I'm now getting from Social Security. So my budget will stay the same. I have planned appropriately to, adjust some each year for inflation and everything, as I understand, costs will continue to go up, sadly. But, I've, kind of planned ahead for that, but I am going to reduce what I'm pulling out of my savings and investments by the amount that I'll be getting from Social Security, so that what's in my savings and investments can continue to grow and thus help me make it last until I, into my 90s if it's needed or beyond. And then, of course, along the way, there's lots of things that I want to do. One of which is like I have on my bucket list to take an epic road trip this coming fall, in fall of 2026. So hope to bring you all along for that as well. But that it's going to be an expensive trip. I'm planning to make a cross country road trip in the fall. And like I said, I want to stop. There's several things that I want to do along the way. And, there's accommodations and food and gas and all those things that you have to take into consideration when you're planning a road trip. So it's going to be a relatively expensive trip. And I'm already starting to plan for that and set money aside for that each month so that I am prepared and that I don't, I can really enjoy the trip when the time comes. And that's my plan going forward as well, is to set aside money for those, higher cost expenses and adventures that I want to take. Now, obviously sometimes things happen that you have to deal with immediately and everything, and again, if so, I will pull from my savings and so forth to take care of any immediate needs that are higher ticket. And say for example, I just had to put 4 new tires on my car, and get some other things taken care of. That came out to I think it was a $2,600 bill. Those things happen. It's part of life. But I am incorporating plans for those along the way as well, and making sure that I'm setting aside a bit of extra money each month in order to do that or to take care of those things. And, like I said, I'm planning to continue to track my spending every month, I think, to make sure I stay on track. And again, for me, some of you may not be quite so anal about things, and I call myself anal. I know I'm not as anal as some people are, but with regard to my spending and tracking my finances, I am a bit anal. I want to make sure that I am accounting for everything, and like I said, I have that peace of mind that my mortgage is going to be paid, that I can continue to take care of myself and be okay for the long term in my retirement. For each of you, you may find a different way of giving yourself that peace of mind as you move into retirement. The thing, but this is kind of what I'm doing. Again, why I chose to retire at 60, why I'm planning to take Social Security at 62. And, obviously, none of us know what the future holds, but I go back to life is short. There's so much I want for my life still, and I want that freedom of time to be able to do things on my schedule, to pursue those adventures. I've already started working on a novel I want to write. And like I said, I've got the road trip coming up. And just, other things, and just having the freedom and flexibility to spend my days however I want, not to have to set an alarm clock in the morning. It has meant so much. I am just thoroughly enjoying my retirement. I am blessed that I am still healthy and very mobile. I am working also to come up to keep myself on maybe a healthier lifestyle plan. I'm not going to be perfect by any means. When it comes to health and exercise, I'm all about progress over perfection, because I will never be that person that eats absolutely nothing but healthy food and exercises all the time. I will never be that person, but I am working on things to have a healthier lifestyle, to help make sure that I continue to maintain my health and stay mobile and able to do things and take care of myself and all those things for as long as possible. So that's my story. I hope you have found it helpful. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I invite you to subscribe. If you would, I would really appreciate it. I am working on building my channel, and I would love to share my retirement journey with you. Wait, I hope you're all doing well, and have a great day and a wonderful life. Bye.